Hi, I am attorney Victoria Rada, and today we are going to talk about the differences of representation from a VSO versus an attorney.
And my name is attorney Greg Rada. I served in the Air Force from 2002 to 2008 as a C-17 cargo aircraft loadmaster. I am now an attorney. I've been representing my fellow veterans against the VA since 2013.
All right, what is a VSO?
VSO stands for a Veteran Service Officer. These are non attorney, VA accredited representatives employed by organizations such as Disabled American Veterans, and then often employed by states, counties, towns.
And what do they cost the veteran?
They are a free service, so there is no cost. It's akin to having a public defender in a criminal case, and they will assist you for free on filing initial claims and appeals regarding your VA disability benefits. And as we go through this video, I just want to clarify that this is not a video bashing VSOs. There are many VSOs out there that are extremely helpful, and you don't always need to hire an attorney for your case. Particularly with initial claims, which most attorneys won't get involved in because we're not allowed to charge fees on initial claims, and then easy, straightforward appeals. VSOs can be very helpful.
There are a lot of companies right now that will take your case on and help you with filing an initial claim, and they aren't VSOs.
Yes, there's what they call claim sharks out there. It's a hot issue right now. Regardless of who you hire, you want to check the VA accreditation database, which you can do online, and whoever you hire should be accredited by the VA. If they are not, we recommend you do not hire them.
So let's get into what an attorney provides that a VSO doesn't.
So I think the big reasons for hiring an attorney are when you have a complex appeal and you need to get independent medical slash nexus opinions. That's something that VSOs are going to be unable to assist you with. At our firm, we work with doctors who can write nexus opinions, and those can be expensive. And VSOs simply don't have the funding to be able to pay for that for their clients. So that's one huge reason that you'd want to consider hiring an attorney. Another reason is that I don't earn a living unless I win my clients' cases. VSOs, they get their salary from their employer no matter what happens with your case.
Mhm.
And so the motivation for me to win versus a VSO to win is substantially higher. It sounds cheesy, but I don't put food on the table unless we win our cases. And so personally, I would want my interests aligned with my representative. And, in my own VA disability case, I hired one of my colleagues to represent me. I could have done it on my own. I know how to do it, but having someone on the outside who's aligned with your interests to me is the best type of arrangement. Another huge factor is VSOs are overworked. They are a free service. They get hundreds of veterans coming to them asking for help. And, if you've ever tried to reach out to a VSO, it's usually a month before they can even talk to you. Oftentimes, your calls or emails to them go unanswered. For us as attorneys, if we don't respond to clients, we can get disciplined by our bar. And so we are always available to our clients. Our clients can reach us via text, email, phone call. We have links where they can schedule appointments with us. We are always available to answer questions, address concerns, provide updates.
So in the event that you lose your appeal at the board, can a VSO continue to represent you at the court?
Not really. There is a method for non attorneys to do representation at the court, but I've
Mhm.
never seen a VSO do it. And just so people know that, the board is the highest level within the VA. If you lose your appeal at the board, you have the option of appealing to federal district court. It's called the U.S. Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims. And it's an appellate court that reviews board decisions to ensure that the board complied with the law, didn't miss evidence, or make any other mistakes. And so, by having an attorney at the VA, at least with our law firm, if we lose at the board, which happens because the board does make mistakes, they are also overworked, we can then represent you at the court level and get your case sent back to the board for a new decision. And so it's nice just to have continuity. We represent you at the VA. If we lose, we can then represent you at the court. We're intimately familiar with your case. as opposed to if you've worked with a VSO the entire time, they're going to then refer you to a law firm for your court representation, and you have someone brand new on your case who may not fully understand it.
So those are the major differences. I have a couple of things in my mind of examples of times where you've had to sort of drop everything to make one client the focus of the day to make things happen on really expedited timelines. And I think it would be helpful if you would share a couple of examples because that is definitely not something that you're going to get, not a type of service you're going to get from a VSO because it's impractical. And also maybe they aren't even aware of the right channels to reach out to in situations like that. So will you give a couple of examples of times where your representation has been something that a VSO just couldn't provide?
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, we have access to VBMS, which is VA's rating system, and so we're constantly monitoring that to see what VA is doing as they're in progress of doing it, and we can sometimes catch mistakes as VA is making them, and then reach out directly to the person at VA and let them know, "Hey, you're doing this wrong." Say it politely,
Right.
um, give them the regulation or the M21 site and get that resolved, in 10 minutes versus, with a VSO, VA is going to make the mistake. They're going to send out a letter. The VSO is going to tell you, well, you can appeal this. And now you're waiting another 6 months. Another situation that happens are, veterans who become terminally ill and take a turn for the worse. I've had multiple cases where I've emailed the board directly to let them know that, hey, this veteran was diagnosed with cancer. He's in hospice. His doctors are saying he has a week to live. Can we get a decision on his appeal before he passes?
Mhm.
And the board's responsive to that. That's why it's important to have a representative that actually communicates with you on a timely basis so that, we can handle that situation for you. And at least you have the satisfaction before you pass that you've won your appeal.
Because if you reach out, as a child of a terminally ill veteran to a VSO saying, "Hey, my dad's doing really bad. I don't think he's gonna make it through the weekend." The odds that that VSO is gonna get that message and be able to do anything within a couple of hours are really slim.
Extremely low. Yeah.
Whereas they can text you or call you directly. There are a good portion of veterans that hesitate and wait to go for their disability benefits, but then in the end of life realize, "I want my family to be taken care of," and there's potentially money there that can go to them. And so, you are working on this abbreviated timeline where those things can matter. If it's not won and paid out before the veteran passes, then it's lost, correct?
In most cases, if there's a surviving spouse, they can step in and finish off the appeal. But if the vet doesn't have a surviving spouse or children under the age of 18, those benefits are going to pass with them. Another important thing that we do here are record reviews. If you go to a VSO, you tell them you want to apply for something, they're going to give you the application form, tell you to fill it out. They're going to turn it around, hand it to VA, and that's generally the extent of what they're going to do for you. Here, whenever we take on a case, we review every single page of the VA claims file because we are looking for new claims. We're looking for mistakes that VA may have made in the past in your prior claims. And often we can cover our own attorney fee by finding things that the veteran never even knew about, or even benefits that VSOs don't know about. SMC Housebound is a huge thing that, I've taken on cases where VSOs worked it, and there's a clear argument to get the veteran SMC housebound, which is another $400 a month on top of their 100% payment rate, which may not sound like a lot, but over the rest of your lifetime, that's a significant amount of money. VSOs generally are pretty straight and narrow, generic, and again, I'm not trying to bash them, but they're very baseline level as to what benefits you can get. We are very creative. When you work with us, you can be ensured that there has not been a penny left on the table. So, thanks for joining us. There's pros and cons to hiring a VSO versus an attorney. I'm biased. I think you should hire an attorney if you can. There's no upfront cost. We only get paid if we win, and we love what we do. We are passionate about VA disability benefits. This is not just a job for us. I'm a disabled veteran myself. We'd love to help out. Please like and subscribe. And thanks for joining.
Thanks. See you next time.